Thank you very much, the Tigers. Doublelift said when he saw that it was going to Game 5, he knew. He was confident they were going to get it. Two of you were confident as well, right? Crumbs, Mark, you with the calling it on the flip-flop there for Game 5.
Blue side strats, momentum, the draft.
Liars. They were sweating the whole time.
No. As soon as they lost the Infernal Soul, I was like, TSM have this.
That's
As soon as they
that's
lost
what it was. That's when you know. Yeah, that's
knew
when you know.
when Mark said God was with TSM side, like, come on, we have to take that side.
Yeah.
I mean, what a way to close out 4 straight days of playoff action with a full 5-game series in an elimination best-of-5 between 2 teams in a rematch. Golden Guardians setting it up for the sweep with the first 2, and then TSM striking back 3 in a row. Mark, reverse sweep.
Yeah, and this is why Doublelift sounded scarred talking about FBI. He had a lot of respect for him, and it's because that was where Golden Guardians' game plan was focused. I mean, as
12
much as
health,
the
by the way.
bands, yeah, Jesus. As close as as many of the bands went mid, and the focus was trying to limit Bjergsen. So much of the actual in-game focus was around playing through bot side, and Doublelift and Biofrost are under attacked the entire series, and they were able to weather it. And the Ashe pick was huge for them.
So this was the moment right here, right? Picking up Soul. There it is.
Yeah, that's when we knew.
That's when you were happy when
That's-
Spica dies and doesn't get the smite. That's when you got happy. with
That's when
TSM?
you know
You're a
TSM's
liar.
got the game. This was it. This was it, right? Right around the Elder. Got to mark those flankers here. Hans are looking for a flank of his own. Means that the Renekton is just going to get a free passage towards the team fight.
And this was a really good play by Biofrost. We didn't really notice it too much, but he actually throws his ult at Kalista while the fight starts. So this forces Kalista to flash into the fight. So by the time the Renekton flank comes in, he has such an easy time to get to Kalista. And also Zillion was actually able to land a double bomb on this flashless Kalista.
This is so good.
Oh, this
was
so clean.
so good. This
So
is the
clean.
play that if Golden Guardians just makes a highlight reel for their entire history as an organization, this is at the top.
Oh my God! Just literally every aspect of this.
Yeah, even the lantern out.
The old
coming in.
unbreakable, layering the damage, sidestep, the Syndra sidestep the Bartle,
no.
and then as you mentioned, the lantern out on the end.
Oh no.
Oh,
no.
baby.
FBI had such a good series until this point.
I mean, I'd still say he had such a good series. I
Yeah,
recognize
I
that
just
this
mean,
was
I
a
mean,
misstep,
the
right?
thing-
But like,
The thing we respect most about him is his aggressive play, and he's willing to take risks and flash in. And this is a fight that was neck and neck. They kind of bait people in at first, and then
if he had gotten the rend on the Bard there, maybe this whole fight goes differently.
but then they get the ult out of Bjergsen onto Hanser, and he says, I can go in here, I can finish some people off. But the Bard Q landing on the minion and then snapping onto him was so brutal. And, I mean, I saw what he saw. I thought it was going to be a good play, but just the instant CC and good follow-up by Doublelift landing the arrow as soon as it went in. He probably would have been hit by that arrow to begin with, so maybe lost track of some of the ults used in that team fight. That's always the hardest part in these messy 5-game series, back-and-forth team fights. Keeping track of every spell cooldown can be quite difficult.
Surprise, excitement, relief on the side of TSM, frustration, sadness on the side of Golden Guardians. It was a hard-fought series. These guys had TSM's number all split long until these final games here. And as you mentioned, that final play from FBI, something he's going to replay in his mind for a very long time. But that is where I do want to return to the conversation that was had with Doublelift just moments ago. The amount of praise that he threw to that Golden Guardians bot lane, saying perhaps the best bot lane in the entire region. It's pretty wild to think that the best bot lane in the region wouldn't be making top 3 and representing us at Worlds, but something to hang your hat on that you performed that well and you made the perennial best AD carry in the region give you that kind of props on your send-off.
I mean, I know we love to praise FBI, but to me the story is even greater for Huhi. This guy was seemingly without any prospects, any future in the mid lane, turns to a support and is now being heralded as the best bottom lane by Doublelift alongside FBI. That is just an amazing role swap. One of the best that I've ever seen.
So while it may sting in the moment, I think Golden Guardians as an organization and that squad can hold for an incredible season, putting up their best results to date. I do series here has to go to Bjergsen, the man in the mid lane. results to date. I do want to look back on the day, though, gentlemen. Our player of the series here has to go to Bjergsen, the man in the mid lane who was banned too many times to count answers every time and ends it on the signature Zilean.
Yeah, I went back and I checked all 5 games. There were only 3 bans that could have gone to him that didn't. Golden Guardians started banning out the set and whatnot, and Bjergsen showed why he received so many bans over the course of the series. He was able to make some monstrous plays, especially in the back half. His Azir was great, his Zilean's great, and I have to say, as great as he was, other people started to step up when they started turning the series around. Bjergsen, I think, was pretty consistent throughout, but Broken Blade as well had a fantastic series. I know some people were throwing some votes to him as well, but still have to give it to Bjergsen.
He's just so deadly on that pick, and you can't really ban it every single time because he doesn't bust it out that often. It's very niche, and then he plays it in the most important game, of course, the moment that you don't ban it, and you know he's going to deliver. And he was a huge enabler for Broken Blade. I know Bjergsen played really well, but during the wins, Broken Blade was really important as well, especially that Renekton game. The Renekton-Zilean combination did a lot of work, and it's why you had the Zilean. You need other carries to make the Zilean stand out.
Yeah, I think when doublelift said, like, when they got to Game 5, he had a whole bunch of confidence that they're going to win it.
You know where it's coming
I think that confidence came from the Zilean pick. As soon as you saw that, that's when I was like, can I change my vote now to TSM? Because in a long game, in these terribly, terribly extended series, Zilean is such a king. He's so great at these long team fights, these really not aggressive early games. That's where Zilean wants to live. And Bjergsen's our best Zilean player. So once he got it, I knew this game was going to be hard. There's going to be some bombs that no one else will see. And then the Bard synergy where you can double bomb on top of the stasis. Yeah. Oh, so great.
It should be noted, Mark, as you mentioned, it was a contentious vote this time around. 2 votes to Broken Blade, 3 votes to Bjergsen when it comes to player of the series. So that does speak to, again, the importance of every player on TSM and how each of them at different moments did have, you know, a game-winning or a series-saving play. But all in all, because of that focus that was applied to Bjergsen, because we know that the Golden Guardians game plan was keeping him down, just that much more goes to the camp of Bjergsen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, he was able to absorb so much pressure in the draft that allowed other picks to go through for his teammates. I think that deserves a lot of credit that is going to be unseen. You can't put a value on how much draft pressure you're absorbing. There's not really a great way to appreciate that, but knowing that your entire champ pool as someone else is always available because you're playing with Bjergsen feels pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, just on that point, Mark, like, think if they had a free ban or two, they would have probably banned the Renekton or the Nidalee because they're not playing either on Golden Guardian side, but they can't because they have to ban out Bjergsen. So the Renekton Nidalee comes out 2 games in a row and they get wins on it both times. Like, that's the kind of draft power you have when you have such a strong player.
And that's where, again, I'll call back to some of those adjustments TSM made, not allowing 5 bans in some games going the way of Bjergsen, picking earlier to make sure he gets on something that they want. That TSM victory, though, does mean that we are one step closer to finding out who our Summer Split champions will be as we take a look at our bracket here. Moving along in that elimination match to face Cloud9. Winner of that will slot on up to face the loser, of course, of Team Liquid versus FlyQuest. But again, just one more elimination match to go to determine our third and final team that goes to Worlds.
It's only bangers from here on out, Dash. It's just going to be really tight games because I think all teams can take games off of each other at this point.
We came in today saying that all 3 teams in the lower bracket have a legitimate shot to claw their way back out of it. Now we're down to 2, but I would have to assume that today's results don't necessarily sway anyone one way or the other on a TSM Cloud9 series.
No, I mean, I definitely agree with what some of doublelift was saying about Golden Guardians being a really tough matchup for them. He was talking about, you know, just the strength of their bot lane, how much they throw bans at Bjergsen. And against C9, you wonder if they're going to do the same thing because, you know, I kind of side with doublelift a little bit when he's saying that he doesn't think Sven and Vulcan will cause quite as much trouble as they had to deal with in this series. And I think that could maybe free them up to be able to be more aggressive in their own bot lane.
Yeah, famous last words there. All right, we'll return on Saturday to witness Cloud9 and TSM battle it out for the final spot at Worlds and our finals weekend. Then on Sunday, we've got the upper bracket finals between Team Liquid and FlyQuest. Do not forget, though, to join myself, Crumbs the Tigress, and Immortal's very own Apollo for the Bud Light League Lounge at twitch.tv/BudLight in just a few minutes. With that, though, we're going to be concluding our day here on the LCS. So from all of us here on the show, on behalf of myself, the casters, the entire remote broadcast crew, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you over at the Bud Light League Lounge on twitch.tv/Bud Light. Good night.